Hey everybody, welcome to PDQ Live. Today we've got a great show for you with the rockers, I guess, and me.
And the email.
And the email.
The rockers and the email.
Today we're going to do some What the Tech. We're going to break down the AWS outage from last week. And then we're going to dive into like some AI and the cybersecurity. But first, a word from our sponsor, Ellie.
Oh my gosh, I've always wanted to be a sponsor. Thank you so much. Quick announcement. This has to do with what I like to call the PDQ World Tour. It continues. We are in Traverse City, Michigan right now. Until tomorrow, Hanks and Alyssa are going to be on hand at MAEDS. I'm saying it that way because I don't know how to pronounce it. If it's maids, anyway, MAEDS. And we will be there, like I said, till tomorrow. They've got a booth, they've got swag, and they want to see you. So if you're in that area, swing on over. They're very huggable. Give both of them hugs. Okay?
Yeah. And Jason will crack your back. He's real good at it.
He is?
Really good at it.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That guy's been racking up the frequent flyer miles lately.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of conferences.
Send him everywhere now.
I just now noticed your cute little inflatable guitar. It's so cute.
Cute.
Again, $16 for all of this.
Really?
This could be you.
I also forgot to bring real guitars. I just realized that.
Oh, yeah. Yours would have been a little
supposed
cooler.
to do that.
Oh, yeah.
I was kind of busy this week.
And I thought you were supposed to have like Dallas record a riff.
I
and then we were
was.
going to fake it.
I know. Gosh. Why? I hate it when they make me work. It's really a problem.
You know, I did see, so we had a trunk or treat last night, real quick, to derail everything
Yeah,
before we get
obviously.
started.
Good.
This lady had the coolest costume. She was a piñata. And when you hit her with a pool noodle, she threw out candy. It was amazing.
Cute.
I know, it was
I like
super
that.
cool.
Jacqueline,
that
are
a
you
lot.
listening? That should be next year.
I like
And her name was Jackie, so
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Okay.
All right, let's jump into this thing.
Yes.
Let's get going with some What the Tech.
What the tech?
Tara, you did all of the research
Yes.
as per usual.
Yes.
So
I'm going to say it's getting harder and harder to pique Josh's interest.
that's not true.
It's totally true.
Just because I don't like giggle and get all giddy about it doesn't mean it's not interesting.
No, I think
We're disappointed if you don't cackle.
No, I'm looking for the eyes, the eye tilt, the eyebrow raise. But it's the fact of the matter is there are so many intrusions, breaches, things that are like happening that I read them and I'm like, he doesn't care about this. No, he doesn't care about this. So now I just look for stuff that is mildly interesting, honestly. And this one was funny. And I wish I could pull the article up, but it wants me to give them money. I was like, ah! So I'm just going to tell you about it. You ready?
I'm ready.
This one came in a weird place. I found this on Ground News. I probably read 35
what?
articles. Yeah, it's called Ground News.
I have never heard of that.
Anyway.
One. Okay.
So people are using AI in kind of a funny way. The new image creator came out to many LLMs. People are using it to create fake receipts to say, hey, I went to a lunch with a vendor or whatever, a customer, and they're submitting them saying, pay me. Well, they're obviously fake. But what's funny about it is it's in 3 months since the image creator came out, $100 million.
Wow.
Because the AI image can make little creases and smudges like, oh, I spilled ketchup and wiped it off. They're very realistic.
That's
so
amazing.
Yeah. So now the C-suite and CFOs are scrambling to validate these receipts. Are these AI or not?
Nope. You got to bring in paper receipts.
Yeah.
Ship them.
Kidding.
Yeah. I mean, is that coming, right?
Oh, I hope
I
not.
thought this was
Oh.
hilarious.
I think the other thing you could do with that, which would be also not cool, it's a way to like launder things that have, let's say, fallen off the back of a truck.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Right?
Yeah.
Like maybe you just happen to find a PlayStation or TV and you have a receipt for it from Best Buy and you're like, hey,
Yeah.
can I have store credit, please?
Yeah. But I mean, this story was like, humans are terrible. They're just terrible.
Oh, humans are always awful.
That's the thing. Is like I see just AI. I see this trend carrying on, right? Like AI and its creative use cases to try to defraud people. It's just gonna like keep going and going and going.
It is. Yeah. So this one
One thing you can always count on.
This one I thought would make you laugh. The next one is I changed the link to. It's only nukes. Who cares?
Yeah. But
So there is a nuclear facility in Kansas City It's a big one. So this was a SharePoint vulnerability, 2 of them. I'm just going to say the small one, 53770 and 49704. These were the 2 big ones that were breached. And
Didn't you talk about those like a couple weeks ago?
Probably. There's a good
All right.
chance.
so someone got in the door, and at this facility, 80% non-nuclear parts are in this nation's stockpile. So someone breached it. It's kind of a big deal.
My question is like, what's their patching policy like? Was this like we have a 2-week time frame, SLA, and they got in within those 2 weeks? Or is this just like...
They didn't disclose that, and they kept saying no comment for like 2+ weeks.
Yeah.
So it's longer than 2 weeks is what I'm going to tell you.
They're non-nuclear parts. So like there's the other parts of the thing. It's not like an actual nuclear facility, but it's the company that makes the parts.
Still
to
not a
build
great
things.
look.
Still not great. No.
Still not great.
Still not great.
Could be worse.
Yeah.
Could be a lot worse.
Look at me. I'm an optimist. Silver lining.
I know. Look at you go. Yeah. So I thought this one was sad, funny but sad. Like, yeah. Oops, we forgot to patch it.
Yeah.
Okay. Last one, and I only brought this one up because we talked about this quite a bit in our webinar yesterday about like, hey, AI is increasing attacks exponentially and blah 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 blah. But when we dug into it, what we really found was it's
Just
kind of
summarize
like,
your entire question as blah 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 blah.
well, yeah, that was Brock's voice. Did you not get that?
No, I got it.
Okay. It's really the same old attacks, just increased. And one of these is this bidirectional attacks. So I brought this one up to kind of talk about it. I'm going to call it bidi. I'm sure it's not pronounced that way because it's bidirectional attacks. And really what this is just inserting... My mic thing's in the way. Inserting different characters, and they're different characters, actually, Latin characters, into the URL and confusing the browsers, essentially.
Yeah.
And this is one of the ones that AI is increasing in numbers to trick your users. So I wanted to talk through this one with you guys because it's been around for more than a decade.
Well, yeah, because like
users.
remember, like your URL structure is like protocol, domain, top level domain, query params, like other like padding. Like there's a bunch of stuff. And in Unicode, remember you can go left to right.
Yep.
But if you switch to something like Arabic,
Yep.
which goes right to left,
Yep.
all of a sudden the parameters, the fragment, the query, all that stuff starts reading one direction and then flips the other direction.
Yep.
Right. So you can start to like get people really tricked really fast.
Yeah.
Yep. And so it was kind of funny because I read a bunch of these and like there's not different browsers handle it a little bit better. Chrome, kind of the best. Well, I mean, none of them handle it really well,
Yeah.
but some are better. Edge is really on the struggle bus still with this one, but there's no real solution. The solution
It's always
is,
on the struggle bus.
this is really going to surprise you. The solution is train your users to hover over the link. And do you see these weird characters? Does something look disjointed, out of place? Don't click on it. That's the solution.
Yeah.
So again,
Same.
back to basics.
Yeah.
Don't click on things you don't know what they are or they look irregular.
Yeah.
So hover, hover, hover. So this is one of the ones we were kind of talking about yesterday, you guys.
I did see 3 other like interesting news articles that today. One was like, which was interesting. I saw this morning. It was like, hey, big Google data breach, right? Everybody go change your passwords. And then Google comes out and was like, no data breach. And
Not
so
us.
you look into it and they're like, no, it's like all these reporting agencies just go and they look at these numbers and stuff and they confuse the reports to think that this is a big data breach that just happened. And Google's like, no, this is just like people's leaked information over so many years and just aggregated, right?
Yeah.
And so Google's mad that, the news agencies suck. And then there's Microsoft is being sued because they convinced 2-point-something million users to pay extra for Copilot 365. And because their marketing was super sus and it's like, they just like, hey, your price is going up. And like, they don't let you know that, oh, you can stay on your same stuff. Like nowhere. You have to like dive deep into there to figure out like,
opt out.
I can keep my 365 without paying another $50 a month or a year or whatever for this extra thing. So they're being sued by Australia. And then what was the last one? Oh, the last one. And this one's cool. This is great news for, well, some people. It's that the new policy that you can go and actually like disable Windows Store apps is live. So like Windows 11 25H2, you can go in there. and actually like disable that with group policy, with Intune policy and stuff like that, which is super cool. So you don't have to like customize your Windows image even more to like take all that bloatware off those Windows apps. But it's only enterprise and EDU.
Of course.
Of course. So there you go. So it's like everybody gets super excited, and then you read that, you're like, oh.
You're like, man, you're not useful. I enjoyed the evil laugh, Josh. Okay, on to the next segment, AWS.
All right, so we're going to talk about AWS. Unless you've been under a rock, everybody saw the AWS US-East went down last week, right? And the spoiler alert, the big thing, it was DNS. But the reason that it was DNS is really, really interesting.
Yes.
So, Thousand Eyes put out a really, really cool like breakdown of this thing, right? And it's Thousand Eyes, so it's Cisco, and it's like their view of the internet as a whole. It's their view of traffic as a whole, and then they compiled it with AWS's like postmortem to give you this whole picture.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting how we get into this cascading failure situation at AWS. I'm going to simplify this. Like, this is the very, very high level version of it. If you want to know more, go read the article, go read the postmortem. So, because we're just going to talk at like a very like big brushstrokes. So AWS has to load balance a ton of traffic, right? Like, think of the sites that are behind it. You've got Reddit, you've got Netflix, you've got all of these like big content engines that are bringing lots and lots of traffic, and they have to load balance that traffic across US East. US East is not a single physical location. It's just not. Like, it's lots of data centers all throughout the region. So the way they do this is with DNS, right? So if you want to use their load balancer and you have one of these services, you point that services, the DNS, to the load balancer. And then from there, the load balancer is like, I got you.
Yeah.
So load balancer says, yep, I've got this traffic. And this load balancer uses two different services, right? There's one that is a planner, and there's one that's an enactor or the doer.
Yeah.
Okay. The planner's job is to look at all of the incoming traffic requests, look and see if there's spikes, look and see if data needs to go from here to there, and then it writes a plan. It writes a ticket. Like, think of this like a waiter or a waitress at a restaurant.
Yeah, a set of directions,
Yep.
basically.
Hey, we're going to move traffic from node A to B. We're going to do this with this internal DNS record, right? Think service is still pointing there. And they put it down. What's supposed to happen is an enactor, or the doer, is supposed to pick that thing up, and he's supposed to go make the changes in Route 53, which is their DNS service. Seems simple enough, right?
But something went wrong.
Something went really wrong.
And there's two enactors.
Well, there's actually
probably a whole bunch.
There's thousands. Yeah. There's probably tens of thousands of enactors and tens of thousands of services that are planners. But we're going to focus on like a series of 4 of them. I don't know actually how many were involved, but we're going to like break it down so we can understand what happened at a small level.
But in our story, one of the enactors, I'm going to dumb it down for me.
Yeah.
In our story, one enactor was on a little coffee break.
Yeah.
So his set of directions got stale.
Yeah. He picked up the directions and said,
I've got to get a drink of coffee. I'll be there in a minute. So,
and this is actually a planned failure scenario that AWS has thought of, like a planned failure, like, oh.
Yeah, in case this doesn't go through, do something else.
What wasn't planned for is what happened next. Is that enactor then said, oh, crap, I was supposed to go do this, and runs back and makes the change.
Yep. So they both submitted their plans, their directions.
But this was after another enactor noticed that the first one was on a break.
So the backup, it was like, hey, something should have happened and didn't.
So this is the proper failure scenario they accounted for. They're like, oh yeah, well, this guy didn't do it fast enough, so another one picked it up, gonna go do it. And then
I have 2 plans that don't match up.
They don't match.
And the result of that equals
a cascading failure. It's a race condition.
I had a blank record.
Yep.
These 2 don't match up, and the system's like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. Blank record. And that resulted in a race condition.
Yes.
Now, tell me why that equals a race condition, because I thought a race condition was instability due to network.
It's 2 things trying to do it, right?
Okay, 2 things.
Because now we're off kilter here. We have a planner and an enactor and 2 enactors that are like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it's like, who's going to win first? But as it's doing this, you still have all of those inbound requests coming for these services. into the load balancer.
Because no
right?
one knows what's going
They're
on.
still hitting that front end load balancer. And on that second resolver, now nobody knows where to go.
Yeah.
So think of this it's like a traffic jam.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Big time.
This is like a traffic jam on the freeway where all of a sudden it was like everyone take this exit and then no one's able to take the exit anymore.
Okay.
Could
So
you
it
imagine? It's
backs
like,
up.
dude, the 15, even with proper directions, nobody knows where to
Yeah.
go.
So the engineers recognize the blank record caused the problems. They fix the blank record, but now all these other things are happening.
This is after like services like internally start to like because those records are backing up, you've got things like on the network layer that are having issues.
Yeah.
Right? You have routers whose buffers are overflowing. You have switches whose buffers are overflowing because they're getting all of this data still coming in from the internet. And then they don't know what to do with it. So then they crash or they boot loop. And then the next thing boot loops. And then the next thing crashes. So even though the thing took like 2 hours to overall like diagnose and then fix, the result of that and like trying to drink from the fire hose that is the content engine that sits behind AWS US-East 1 just took 16 hours to come back online?
Yeah, 15 hours total. Because then you had all these other problems associated with the initial car crash.
Yeah.
Now the stoplights are out, and then on and on and on you
And
go,
it keeps
right?
going.
Yeah.
And like the funny thing is like you looked at all the posts and it's like, how are all these places like not like geodundantly diverse, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. And the thing is like, unless they were set up already to be able to fail over for this particular edge case, like they wouldn't be able to fail over. So you had customers on US-East 1 trying to fail over to like their DR site, right? And you do that by changing a DNS record, right? You're pointing traffic from here to there. But guess what? Route 53 is so hosed, you can't get that record in.
Yeah.
Are we
to be
talking
able to
about
do it.
hundreds of thousands of records? Like, how many you think?
I don't know. It's probably hundreds of thousands of records that get modified because think how much traffic comes in and like it's diverted and peak and non-peak times. So think what's going to happen when Stranger Things drops on Netflix.
Oh my gosh.
Boom.
Yeah.
Right? That's going to get hit like a truck, which means a lot of traffic has to get diverted.
Yeah. Because when I read the article, I was like, what seems like such a simple mistake, and then just
It's funny.
cataclysmic
Every IT
results.
guy looks at this and they're just like, DNS.
Yeah.
And
And it's funny because like you do see the services that were actually like geo redundant or data center redundant, zone redundant.
Yeah.
In certain cases, I think Reddit is a perfect example. During the outage, you could browse all of the content of Reddit, but did you notice you couldn't comment?
You couldn't write. So the
You
read
couldn't comment.
functionality. Yeah.
Yep, you couldn't upvote. So like that service that Reddit that has is probably not the same that is
Right.
redundant like their giant content engine. So I think it's funny that like the value proposition of the cloud, move to the cloud, has always been somebody else's problem, and that's true.
Until they mess up.
But it still relies on the same like 1970s tech.
yeah, it's
The
not
whole internet
like
still
DNS
works on?
is not changing.
Yeah.
There's
And then we also have created new problems that are like hyperscale problems,
yeah.
like that a traditional like engineer wouldn't be dealing with.
This reminds me of me when I run a PowerShell script and it does some wonky stuff that I didn't expect, and I'm like, Control C. I'm like, ugh,
Well, let
that's
me
way
ask-
too much data.
Let me follow up with that, though. You would be dealing with it just on a lesser scale.
You would.
Okay. That's what
Right?
I'm just
You would be, right? Like, so let's say that you were hosting your own stuff and you did something like this. You're probably not seeing the same level of inbound traffic
I hope
that
not.
AWS is.
Yeah.
To the point where like 400 gig edge routers are having their buffers overflow to the point where they crash and boot loop.
Yeah.
Like you're probably not there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was a great explanation. Thank you.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Next, let's recap
What are we recapping?
the greatest webinar of all time, right, Brock?
Yeah, I wonder how many people in the chat were there yesterday. I know a few of you guys were. I did see some of you guys there, and it's always awesome to have you guys in those webinars and stuff. But I thought yesterday's chat went really well.
I don't know. Tara summarized one of your questions as blah, blah, blah.
That doesn't sound like me. What?
Yeah, I mean, so if for those of you that aren't aware, so we talked about vulnerabilities in AI yesterday, and kind of how AI is maybe changing cybersecurity a little bit, and maybe how it's also not changing cybersecurity, right? One of the big things was that it really came down to a few specific things that we kept kind of like hashing out. One of that is training your users, right? So let's talk about that for a little bit. What does like training your users look like nowadays versus maybe before AI came out? Because nowadays we have more complex like phishing attacks and stuff where it's like, oh, hey, maybe I can clone your voice. Maybe I've got video manipulation going on and stuff like that. So how do you train your users in those situations to kind of be even more aware? Because we've been trying to hound it into them for years, right? We're sending out those know before training videos, and we're, everybody is watching and definitely not fast forwarding those things. So we've been training them for years, but it's like these attacks are getting more sophisticated. So like, what are we doing different?
I think for a lot of years, we were like historically training our users to look for symptoms and not the actual problem, right? We're training users to look for, is the link funny? We're training users to look for grammatical errors. We're training users to look for spelling or like all of these other things that are just symptoms, but we're not actually training them about the problem or the risk, right? And I think what AI does, especially from the like adversarial perspective, is I don't have those problems in my campaigns anymore. In fact, I can have my campaigns look very, very real because of how much people post their life on the internet. I can now match writing style and tone, and like I can match internal company slang if I want to, if you're good enough and you do enough research in your recon.
Yeah.
So I think that it changes, and it changes what we should have been doing all along, which is teaching our users to think through the risk and the threat and identify that, not the symptoms of it.
Yeah.
Right? Look for themes. Is it causing you to like have action? Is it causing like a sense of urgency? Does this seem like out of the norm? Why would this person be reaching out to you?
Yeah.
Right? But again, even those can be kind of tricky because how many people post on LinkedIn, hey, my boss is so great. They did this, this, and this.
Yeah.
And then job title. And then their boss also posts like a bunch of stuff about how they post and like their writing. So if I'm like really, really dedicated, I can go sample their writing style.
Yeah.
And now I can have it come from your boss or look like your boss, match their tone, and probably something that looks like it would fit your job description too.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Dan's not going to be texting me.
No.
Well, and he's come out and said that, right? He's like, hey, just in case anyone's wondering, I will not ask you guys for gift cards, so I'm all good.
I think the theme that I said in the webinar throughout was have a relationship with your users. Honestly, learn their workflow, learn how to do the micro trainings with them. And that includes the hallway conversations, the just drive by, the walk around technique, get to know them, get to know their workflow, get to know how they can incorporate AI in their life, how to make their job easier, and take away the fear factor. If you make them not afraid of AI and how to spot it in not only in phishing techniques, but in how to utilize it to make their life easier, they will become less afraid of it and in turn be able to spot it. And smishing, quishing. I just learned that term, by the way. Quishing. It's so cute to say. Quishing. Not to scan those things because they want to.
Yeah.
If you tell someone not to do something, guess what? They're going to want to do it. But if you have a relationship with them, and I know they're going to come at me, but go talk to your users. That's the best thing to do. Prevention will always beat policy. So I'm going to scream that from the rooftops and find those little IT spies. Do it. Have someone in every department that will tell you what's going on because it works. I promise it works.
Yeah.
I liked what Kendra was saying yesterday because she kind of was like, I almost use a little bit of fear mongering. And now I don't know to what extent, like, I don't know if she's got a whip back there or something and, berates her users or something like that. I don't think so because she's awesome and super nice. But I like you can bring it down to a more level that these people can relate to. And it's like, hey, let me show you how this could impact you and your job and the company as a whole. Like, let me show you how somebody could take advantage of this and all of a sudden make it a real life experience for you. So it all of a sudden becomes real and it's not just a training video. Right?
Yeah.
And it's like,
I agree.
You could receive this text message, you could receive this email, and this is what cascades from that.
Yeah. I also agree a nice little sprinkle of fear with some fun curiosity. And we did talk about that, like how to, because I talked about, I've been training my Josh bot. He's awesome. That's what I call my AI. I'm trying to get
We're
my
gonna
AI
get him on here when he's
to
all
talk
polished
like
up.
JoshBot. But I was doing it at home, and my family was listening because I was working from home. They're like, "What are you doing? Who is that?" I would do that in the hall and let my users hear it because curiosity sparks innovation. This is what I'm doing. Would you like to incorporate that in your workflow? I'll show you how.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Take
help
away
you.
that fear.
I'm going to
Yeah,
help
do.
you train JoshBot,
Do.
and then he can come on the webcast, and I'll still keep getting paid.
No.
He can
We'll
take
have
my job.
we'll have you both on. It'll be JoshBot versus Josh.
Ugh.
It's going to be amazing.
Oh,
But guess what? Users love that. They're curious. They are.
yeah.
Get them involved and then increase their knowledge. Take away the fear. That's my take on it. But a little fear mongering never hurt anybody either. So do both.
Another thing we touched on, obviously, this one's kind of like probably the biggest immediate risk of AI is DLP, data loss prevention, right? This is where it's like, oh, all of a sudden, like AI came out, and a lot of companies at this point probably hadn't like adopted it at some kind of enterprise level, and everybody's just like, holy cow, look what AI can do. Let me just dump all this data in here, these reports, this is writing styles, like everything, and let me just have it like, how much of my job can you do for me, right? And so that was a huge risk going forward. Like it was just like an immediate risk of AI, and it's still a risk, but now we're thinking of ways to kind of like combat that, right?
Yeah. I think my take on this is that people are going to use new tools. They want to.
Yeah.
And if you tell them no, like just like Tara said, most people are going to do it anyway.
Well, and I
Right.
think what I would want to ask you, and I would love to hear the customers, the chat. I would want to ask you, our IT director, how you incorporated our enterprise volume license for AI into the organization and what problems you had along the way and how you feel having the enterprise version gives you the necessary visibility into it, how you gave them the approval to use it, and did that improve adoption, and how you would teach them how to do it.
Yeah. Okay. We can talk through this. I think, so yeah, PDQ is a perfect case in point, right? Like people are curious. People are like technically like very savvy.
Yeah.
Right. People want to try new stuff,
Mhm.
and it makes sense. It makes life a lot easier. But what got tricky was like, there's the boom, the bubble.
Yeah.
Well, I'll call it a bubble. Maybe it's not a bubble. Who knows?
Well, you were an early adopter.
Of AI, and we
You
were
did
an
a while
early.
ago, yeah.
We were an early adopter.
Yeah.
And the first thing that became immediately obvious to us is like, we actually, if we're just like letting everybody pick their own tools
Mhm.
and use this stuff, like it's like any other software. I don't actually know where my data is.
Sure. And we talked about that, the trusted models versus the
Yeah.
maybe not so trusted. So,
And so our decision was like, look, let's figure out what people are using AI for.
sure.
Right. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to understand? Go research, go sign up for trials. And we just put some gates around those trials.
Mhm.
We said, you can't use customer data.
Mhm.
You can't use any like PII. You can't use any company IP. Like you can't use source. Like you can like obfuscate some of the stuff or like generalize it, but like no like actual source code.
Mhm.
But go try all of these things.
Sure.
And we let that power out to like the team, like at the individual team level.
Mhm.
We did a little spike on it, and it was like, all right, everybody run for a month, 2 months, come back, figure out what works for you and your team.
Mhm.
And as IT, we consolidated it, right?
Okay.
We did an initial high level pass as people wanted to do a trial of like, give me your compliance docs.
Mhm.
How long have you been in business?
Mhm.
What are you doing? What's your privacy policy? We would engage with sales just to get that first high level.
Mhm.
And what we did is we ended up consolidating on like 2 providers,
Oh, okay.
because 2 providers fit all of our needs.
Was it the length that they had been operating, or they just fit the needs of the company?
It was all of it. Like
Okay.
as we were evaluating in trial, like it was a risk-based decision.
Mhm.
It was like, if you're a brand new AI startup
Mhm.
who doesn't have a privacy policy, never been through any compliance cycle,
Yeah.
I'm not going to let you have customer
You're
data.
out. Yeah.
Now, I might let you help me with designs.
Okay.
I might let you help me with like graphic design and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But the providers we ended up on were Copilot, because it's just there in GitHub.
Sure.
Right. And that's already covered under our enterprise agreement with Microsoft. We already know where that data is. It's already listed there. And OpenAI.
Sure.
And what we did with OpenAI is we did the same thing. We signed an enterprise agreement with OpenAI, gave everybody a license there, and we still have gates on those.
Yeah.
Right. The gates we have on those relate to like data classification policies. There is some data classifications that just don't go, even though like we know that we have an agreement with these providers, we're not going to put data in it.
Sure. Finance. I'm guessing you don't want
Some of
that.
finance is okay.
Oh, okay. Some
of finance is okay.
Okay.
And some of the stuff that came back from some of the finance team was like, well, I don't think this is taking my job anytime in the near future, because it just wasn't quite precise enough.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm guessing the entrance to gaining these tools you had to make relatively easy, right? You don't want it to be hard to get these tools, or do you? What?
I don't want it to be hard.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be hard, because once I made it, like if I make that decision hard, what you end up with is like think of the last time we were at a park, right? And you're walking and you see all the sidewalks. If there's any 90-degree angles in a sidewalk, what do you always see cutting through at a 45-degree angle?
I'm going to walk through the grass.
It's a dirt path.
Yeah, I'm going to do it
because
anyway.
humans will always take the path of least resistance. So if you make it hard, people are just going to do the thing they want to do anyway without visibility. And that, in my opinion, is worse than not doing anything at all.
Sure.
Because at least I know where stuff is at.
Yeah. So you can't, I mean, if I'm hearing you correctly, you can't, as an IT director and your team, you can't be scary. You have to be approachable.
Yeah.
You have to make the path to getting these tools relatively easy. And what about policy? How did you go about writing the policy?
What Just Rob
Policy.
says, cattle prods beats policy all day.
It does, yeah. Like
Imagine that's a little harder.
I try and save my no's for things that like I really need to say no on.
Sure. Yeah, I get it.
If you're always the person saying no, your no's don't carry any weight.
Yeah.
If you're always like adversarial to everything, then people just use an obstacle that they need to like go around and not work with.
Yeah. I love it.
There's an important lesson there. I like that.
Like, and so
Make your
often
no's
that's
count.
IT. Like so often that's IT.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's really kind of what this whole thing came down to, was like, yes, AI is different. There's new things you can do with it. There's new risks based on it. But it all comes down to the same things. It's train your users, right? Give them an avenue to use the tool so you don't end up like shadow IT. And again, it's risk-based. Assess the risk, and you're going to have to assume a certain amount of risk, just like you do with any tool. Any vendor tool you use, you're assuming a certain level of risk. And so you just got to weigh the same thing out with AI, just like any other tool.
Yeah.
But anyways, you can definitely go we went on for probably like 40 minutes, and then we answered some great questions that came in through the chat. We talked about even like implementing it a little bit more in depth here at PDQ. You can find those on pdq.com/the events page. But yeah, the recording's out there. Definitely go take a look at it. Really, really cool stuff.
Yeah. All right. I think it's a wrap for us today then.
I think so. Thank you, Old PS Noob, for our gifts. We love them.
Yes, I'm going to
those
eat.
gummy bears.
Yeah. We're going to fight over those. All right. Thanks, everybody. For PDQ, I'm Josh.
I'm Tara.
I'm Brock.
Thank you for joining our webcast today. As always, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Leave us your comments. Join us on Discord, and have a happy Halloween. We'll see you back here next week.